welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. There are two things everybody interested in women's basketball is talking about, and both of them involve Caitlin Clark. One, when is she expected to take to the basketball court again? What's the timetable? And two, what can we expect from the Indiana Fever when she does make her return? Now, dealing with the first one first, I have maintained since the Indiana Fever released a statement that there was no further damage, that Caitlin Clark would return this season. Now, I know there were people who got in the comments, said I didn't know what I was talking about. She's absolutely not coming back. And I said, put the brakes on. No. And I still maintain she will be back, and she will be back sooner rather than never. Now, we still don't have a date, a time, an hour, any of that. But I did notice when Stephanie White was speaking on NBA Today on ESPN that she used the term day to day. Now, originally, they were intent on not using that term. It was she's out indefinitely. So I guess since there was a correction made at one point, that day to day is not the same as out indefinitely. In any case, we don't know when. I still maintain it is going to happen. The second piece is that there are some really strong opinions about what things will look like when Caitlin Clark comes back. Some people believe that this team, a team that has been on an absolute tear, will take a nosedive when Caitlin returns. This team has found a groove, found a rhythm, and now is sitting on a 5-game winning streak with the opportunity to get to 6 games on Tuesday against the Sparks. Gotta come, gotta bring it. But if they come and if they bring it, they have a good opportunity to go to 6 straight wins. And so the conversation out there or the narratives out there are, for some, the team is going to take a back seat because Caitlin Clark is going to disrupt things. That's one opinion. There are people, because the team is winning, who believe that the team is better without Caitlin Clark, which of course is bogus. But that's one of the narratives out there. There are some people who had no respect for the team with Caitlin Clark out. That too, obviously, is bogus. As an Indiana Fever fan, as a Caitlin Clark fan, I obviously wanted the team to succeed. Has not gone over my head, however, that there are factions out there who didn't want the team to do well and don't want the team to do well if Caitlin Clark isn't playing, because in their mind, that feeds into the narrative, and they're more concerned about the narrative of people saying, well, they're better without Caitlin or they don't need Caitlin. They're more concerned about that than actually wanting the team Caitlin is on, the team Caitlin cares about, the team Caitlin has given herself to and wants to come back and help win. They're more concerned about the voices out there, the noise out there, than they are in wishing that the team does well, cheering the team on and not dogging the team. That's a whole different story. But it does have to do with the sports culture connection. It's the real thing. And there's a lot of noise out there. And I've told you before that the word noise originates from the Latin for nausea. And that really does sum it up. Stephanie White on NBA Today, she addresses the question about Caitlin Clark's return. So we're going to go over there to ESPN on YouTube and listen to what she said about that. But she's also going to, perhaps unwittingly, I don't know, address the idea of what the team will be like when Caitlin returns. And her answer is forceful.
It's just been a really fun group to coach. They've been incredibly resilient.
Yeah, and speaking of Caitlin Clark, she's only played 13 of 29 games. She's been in and out of the lineup, obviously, with the injuries. You know, when you take a look at Caitlin Clark, one, what's her status? And also, what's the plan to get her back out there on the court?
Yeah, I mean, it's day to day right now.
Yeah.
We're really just putting no timetable on it, going through the rehab process, and then we want to reintegrate her from a strength and conditioning standpoint, and then get her back to basketball activities. So we're taking it one day at a time, really slow rolling it, slow playing it this time. She tried to come back a couple of times and just had setbacks along the way. So the most important thing for us is Caitlin's long-term health, getting her back to 100% before we put her back on the floor.
So we see here that they are being extra careful. They want her at 100% when she returns. And then after she does return, you've got to be careful about her minutes. If you recall, when she came back the last time, pretty early in the game, she was asking for a sub. You'd be surprised how quickly you get out of game shape. So it's going to take some time to do that. And so it's important that she be ready, and it's important that our teammates be ready for the adjustment, for her coming in, and then for her maybe playing less minutes as they acclimate her back into game shape. Let's hear some more.
All that said, it is not easy to go from having a ball-dominant player like Caitlin Clark on your team one day, and then not on your team for long stretches, and then back, and then back, and then not out. How are you guys shifting gears each time?
Yeah, that's been the toughest part. And I think you saw it early when she was in and out of the lineup, just adjusting because she has so much gravity on the offensive end. We run things differently on the floor when she's on the floor offensively. Now we go smaller. We have a little bit more versatility, I would say, on the defensive end of the floor. But again, I think this group is just, we have some plug and play players that they don't care what their role is. They just want to get out there. They just want to compete. And we've found a little bit of a rhythm right now. And so when we re-implement and get Caitlin back in the floor, reintegrate her, I think we're going to be that much more dangerous.
Excellently said. And I have to shout out the team, because I do feel like she's not pulling our legs. Like, this is a team of people who, okay, coach, you need me for 20 minutes this game. You need me for 12 minutes. You need me for 30 minutes. You don't need me at all this game, or it's not my night, or whatever the case may be. They have accepted their roles. Minus Dewana Bonner, apparently, whatever her story was, she went on about her business. But this team, you take a Sydney Colson, whom, let's be honest, some people were not quite sure about. We didn't know if it would fit, but she has been that vet. She's been the person who said, I'll give you what I got. When you call my number, I'll be ready. If you don't call my number, I don't have to come in. Like, I'll cheer on my team. That is huge. You take a Bree Turner, who we really had questions about, and from what we can see, no issues there. She has accepted her role. At least that's what it appears to be. And then you've got the other players who have more of a minutes role, etc. They just seem like they're there, they're ready to play, and they want to stay ready so that they don't have to get ready. And of course, you hear this team say that a lot. One thing she said right there, I gotta highlight this, is that Caitlin comes back, you have to play differently. And that's the thing I think some people don't understand. It's like Sophie said before, it's like two different teams. You're going to play different styles with Caitlin on the floor. But when Caitlin comes back, like she said, they're going to be even more dangerous because she demands so much attention, which can be troublesome at times because they're all over her, they're grabbing her, they're holding her. They got her 94 feet, and that can be difficult. But navigating that part is important, and we have seen it. It opens up things for everyone else. So Stephanie White is not parroting the narrative, the ridiculous narrative that they are not going to be good with Caitlin Clark on the floor. She's salivating. When I did my video earlier and I talked about Caitlin chomping at the bit, the team, the coach, they're chomping at the bit. Will there be adjustments? Obviously, there will be adjustments. Now you got to work how the lineup is going to look this time. You got to how the rotations are going to go. So all those things come into play, but that's a problem that she's glad to have. We're going to be more dangerous. That's spoken like a person who understands that we've got something good here. We've turned a corner. We're winning. We're learning to play. And when Caitlin comes back, we're going to be even better. And she didn't just say better. She said more dangerous. And I think that is the proper adjective. I'm going to listen to a little bit more. And then I got a little bit more to say about the concept of being dangerous with Caitlin.
To be able to coach generational talent like Caitlin Clark. And, we really do just have a great group of human beings and a strong group of women that are leading our organization.
And when Caitlin Clark does return to the floor, how is she going to help elevate this team even more down the stretch of the season?
Well, she demands so much gravity on the defensive end of the floor. She's constantly seeing multiple players, and she makes the right reads and makes the right plays for our group. So she's going to continue to allow us to stretch the floor. We're going to be able to, I think everybody else will be able to get more higher percentage looks because of what she demands on the defensive end of the floor. And she brings our own defensive versatility because of her length, because of her size. So we'll certainly look different. I think we'll be that much more dangerous on offense in particular.
Once again, Coach White uses the adjective dangerous. That comes from having a level of confidence. I know that she's absolutely spot on when she talks about Caitlin making the right reads. And a lot of that we get to see through her passing. Talk out there about her needing to give the ball up. And no one who's watching and paying attention is believing that Caitlin Clark won't give the ball up. She got a lot of criticism from many of us last season because she seemed to be too unselfish at times. So you don't have a selfish player in Caitlin Clark who's not willing to give the ball up. We're seeing this team share the ball, pass the ball around. And Caitlin is not like the antithesis of that. She wants to pass the basketball. And one thing that will improve will be the passing when she returns, because I've seen some players who have kind of tried to make those kinds of passes at times. And it's like it just kind of ran out of battery on the way there, because she really does have a skill. So she's going to make them better. She's going to do what she's done, which is make everyone better, make everyone's job better. Of course, there'll be challenges. Of course, they're going to try to slow her down. Of course, they know she's coming from injury, that all those things are going to have to be worked out, and people are going to have to rise to the challenge with the shift that's going to have to happen. But I dare say this, part of this team having the capacity to be more dangerous with Caitlin is because Caitlin herself, I guarantee, will be an even more dangerous player. As much as we've wanted to see her on the floor, there's something about being out, sitting out, and being able to watch. She talked about this before when she was out. Others have talked about this. It's not that we don't want her on the floor, but it may be, we're going to look down the road at this moment that Caitlin, after a few years in the league, maybe not even that far from now, she will look on this moment and she will realize that as frustrating as it was, as painful as it was, that this was a determining or deciding or defining moment in her career when she could step back and watch and also get better. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again, she has not reached her ceiling yet. There are people, and I'm included, we want to see Caitlin play a certain way we're used to seeing her play, and we will see that. But we're going to find that as she continues in her career, and even more, I think, as she comes back, she's going to be even better, and she's going to expand her game even more. There are people, like I said, who like to see her play a certain way, but then there are the people who want her to stay only playing that way. Caitlin is not going to be that player. She's too hungry to get even better, and she can get better. And so I think this time is, like I said, it's going to be that defining moment where her game is going to expand and explode. And that is scary for the opposition, because she has an appetite to be the best. And when you have that appetite, your Kobe's have it, your Michaels have it. It's very rare. And you already have a skill and a talent that causes people to have that look on their face that Jonquel Jones had when Caitlin delivered that pass in the 2024 All-Star game. That look, she already has that. But we have to understand that she can and will get better. And that's why this team is going to be even more dangerous. All of her teammates are getting better, are playing better. She's going to come into it, guarantee you, she's seen some things. She's going to make some adjustments herself in addition to what she already comes to the table with. I think this team can do really good things. I have enjoyed, even with some of the frustrating aspects of any game, no matter who's playing, I have enjoyed watching this team come together. Those who have decided not to watch when Caitlin wasn't playing, obviously that's your decision. I feel like it's also your loss. I believe, as I have throughout, and I've not changed my mind, that this team has great potential this year. That's my expectation. And so it's been fun watching it unfold, even though Caitlin hasn't been there. It's been a joy to watch a player such as Caitlin cheer her teammates on, not get caught up in the noise because it's so loud. I've shut it out. But for her to be there, to cheer on her teammates, to bide her time, to even talk to them on the sidelines, to share what she's seeing, and also for her to take it in, which will expand her game. It's exciting for me as a FIBA fan and as a basketball fan. It really is. So I agree with Coach Stephanie White. There will be adjustments. It expands everyone's game. And I'm looking forward to the return. We don't know when, but it'll happen. And I say, let's go Fever. We'll see what happens on Tuesday night. They really need to take it to the Sparks. This is an important game. They got to get this win. It'll be 6 wins if and when they do. I will catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.